So today we are going to talk about persuasive communication or effective communication. So what are the skills, what are the things required for your communication to be effective? I'm sharing the screen to you and we'll see in a minute. Is the screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. After the 7 golden rules of communication, we come to the 7 elements of effective communication. For communication to be effective, what are the elements required? The first is kindness. There is a beautiful saying that a little kindness goes a long way. So, people will remember you for your kindness. Kindness is the language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see. Very beautifully put. It is the language that the deaf can hear. How can a deaf hear kindness? A person who is crossing the road and he does not see a vehicle crossing by. If somebody holds his hand and helps him to cross the road, he can see the kindness. He can hear the kindness. Similarly, a blind person who is helped in many ways can see what kindness is. So I hope you agree with the kindness is the language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see. And this quote is by Mark Twain, who is a great writer. And a little kindness goes a long way. A little kindness goes a long way, which means you will be remembered for your kindness. You will remember the kindness showered on you. People do not forget the kindness. But yes, people do not forget the hurt also. You not forget the hurt that people have caused you. But then a little kindness that will make you feel good. That is why we say a little kindness goes a long way. You'll remember, you'll feel good about it. Doing good and receiving good. So, our communication reveals thoughts and attitude. Whatever you are speaking, it reveals. And when we are speaking, we always have two choices: our attitude in our speaking, whatever we are speaking, to whomsoever we are speaking, we always have two choices. What are they? Love. Either we communicate love or we are communicating fear. There is no third choice. We just have two choices: love and fear. So, when we communicate, so there's a list. When we communicate with sarcasm, what is sarcasm? You're being sarcastic. You're commenting the wrong way. You're commenting negatively. So when we communicate with sarcasm, when we blame, when the blame game is on, when you are blaming, when we are threatening. So you see, when we communicate with sarcasm, when we communicate with blame, when we communicate with threat, when we communicate with anger, when we communicate with worry, we are communicating fear. This fear is there. Did you understand? Fear is there. So when is fear active? In sarcasm, you're passing a sarcastic comment, you are blaming somehow, some fear, the fear complex is overpowering you. When you're blaming, when you're communicating with threat, anger, anxiety, when you're worried, when you're communicating worry, somehow we are communicating fear. So the punchline is always be kind, always use kind words. Always be kind. Words are pictures of our thoughts. So the punchline when you are talking fear, it is advisable to be kind. Always be kind. But there are some situations where you are angry, you are anxious, you're worried. Silence is the best choice. So always be kind. Words are pictures of our thoughts. Whatever we are thinking, words come accordingly. And the next choice, right? And when we communicate with respect, the other choice. When we communicate with respect, you're showing respect in your communication. When you're communicating with acceptance, agreeing, acceptance, when you appreciate, when appreciation is in your communication, when you're communicating joy, communicating with joy, delight. So let's recap. When we communicate, when we are happy, when we communicate with delight, delight means delightful communication. When there's happiness in your communication. So when we communicate with respect, acceptance, appreciation, joy, and delight, we are communicating love. So the two choices, either you communicate with fear or you communicate with love. So our face is the mirror of our mind. The face is the mirror of our minds. Think positive to show positive results. It's all written on your face. It's written large on your face. Right? The second element is awareness. Awareness is the key ingredient in success. If you have it, teach it. If you lack it, seek it. If you are aware of your surroundings, if you are aware of your needs, if you are aware of your weaknesses, if you are aware of your drawbacks, think about it. So awareness is a key ingredient to success. If you have it, generate, teach, tell others about it. If you have it, teach it. And if you lack it, seek it. Find out how can you be aware. Be aware of your effects on others. How you're speaking, what you're speaking, get the feedback from others. What is the effect? What do others feel about you? So avoid languages to attack. As you said, when you are angry, in business communication, we have already taught you. So never write a mail when you are angry. Never take a decision when you are angry. Because you do not know. When you lose control, you will not know what you are writing. You will not know what decision you have taken. And so, decision in haste and repenting in waste. So do not act when you are angry. Avoid languages to attack. Do not attack people with your words. Do not criticize. There are ways of giving feedback. This I think we've already done in class. How to give and how to receive feedback. If you can stop criticizing and if you learn to give positive feedback and if you learn to receive positive feedback, you're already halfway up there. So do not attack, avoid languages to attack, avoid languages to criticize. Harsh words can cut people down. So harsh words can cut people deep and leave permanent scars. Like I remember something shared on social media. The person was talking about her school days, how she still remembers. Now she's in a middle age. Now she's a middle-aged woman. And then she remembers the hurt caused by one of the teachers who, right from the very first standard, went on attacking, went on criticizing, went on the blame game. She kept on saying this, you can never do this. You are one useful little child who is just good for nothing. And how these words cut her up, left deep scars, it left permanent scars, which is really difficult. The wounds can heal, but the scars will always remain there forever. So, say there are some words which can be very, very, very damaging. Harsh words can cut people deep and leave permanent scars. Kind words are like rays of sunshine. The punchline here is kind words are like rays of sunshine, and bitter words like arrows. For you to become a persuasive communicator, when you go down to work in any company, you have to be you have to choose persuasive communication. And what is persuasive communication? It is all about the 7 golden rules, the 7 elements of effective communication, right? The third is the emphasis on the positive. The attitude should always be positive. If you want to be persuasive, whether you want to be an HR or you go down to sales, whatever it is, positivity counts. So the quote here is, if you think positively, sound becomes music. Movement becomes a dance. Smile becomes laughter. Mind becomes meditation. And yes, life becomes a celebration. So all these things happen. All these things are there in store for you. It's there. It's very much there. You only have to be positive. Masterful communication goes much deeper than just getting messages across. When I'm talking about masterful communication, I'm talking about verbal, non-verbal, body language, gestures, postures, all put together. So masterful communication goes deeper than just getting messages across. Highlight your words with encouraging emotions. When you are talking, encourage, inspire, motivate. And at this point of time, I think we all need a lot of encouraging emotions and a lot of encouraging words, right? Leave a lingering impact. It means the fragrance of words should linger on. Win over the listener with positive approach. It means take control of your listeners. Win over. Be successful in speaking. Be a storyteller. Win over. Win over the listeners with positive approach. Great communication leaves people feeling good. So we're talking about again a great and good, great communications leave people feeling good. When somebody encourages you, when somebody appreciates you, you feel good. Avoid being mistaken. This you have to really be doing it. People can mistake you. People can misunderstand you. You have to avoid this by with clarity. And clarity is the moment we see without opening our eyes. When talking to people, when you're speaking, don't assume you have been understood. Don't assume. Repeat. Let your speech be rhetoric. Put in style when you're speaking. Repeat. Don't think that you have been understood. So don't assume you have been understood. Relationship is littered or lost with misunderstood communication. So when you're not understood, when people are not able to understand you, any relationship will be at stake, is littered, is lost, is forgotten. With what? Just one thing: misunderstood communication. Avoid being misunderstood. When a wrong word you speak, when a wrong word goes awry, it means it is somewhere lost, goes out of your pocket and is lost. It becomes off beam here or off beam here or a missed meaning there. It means when your communication is lost somewhere in the road. I think we spoke about a leaky bucket, how a leaky bucket can lose all the water. Similarly, an information can be lost with misunderstood communication. So whatever you're wanting to say is not been has not been decoded. The person has not been able to understand. And in the long run, it all distorts our messages. So do not assume that you have been understood 100%. Always ask for clarification. Always ask for feedback. First, seek to be understood. Ask people, have you understood? When you get the answer, yes, you move on. But then, if you're not understood, then try to understand. First, speak. First, seek to be understood. Then understand. The fifth point today is perfect timing. Know when to stop. When you're telling a story, you should know when to stop. Like when you're giving a speech and your time is for 3 minutes, be in that frame. You should know, should be aware of it, right? Know when to stop. In a workplace meeting, it's difficult to say nothing. So, in a workplace meeting, people go on speaking and saying because a lot of people and a lot of people have got a lot of things to say. So we are speaking one after the other from one point to the other. We are brainstorming. So a lot of things happen. People attend with the sole intention is to talk because it is the way to impress. Why people talk? Because they want to impress. Good speakers know when to wrap up. People who are good speakers, they know when to wrap up, when to finish it up. Bad ones miss out on that. So a good speaker knows now it's time to wrap up. Now it's time to stop. But bad ones, they go on and on and on and on. They miss out on that. Let me rectify this. Great speakers know how to wrap up. Bad ones miss out on that. Give your speech perfect timing. Leave your listeners hankering for more. Like when you have completed your story, people should be wanting for more, hankering for more. Oh, why did it stop? It's like when you're listening to a good song and it finishes and you want, oh, it was so beautiful. Why did it finish? So you want more and more and more. So give your speech perfect timing. Leave your listeners hankering for more. Be precise and talk to the point. Six is do not interrupt. When somebody is speaking, you may be itching to say something. You may be wanting to butt in. You may be wanting to interrupt. Don't do that. Most people talk over one another. When somebody is talking, you overlap. It happens. It is rare to see people listening with openness and asking for clarification and help with understanding. Hardly people listen. People talk over one another. Holding back when others are talking is the mark of real person who can really understand others. Right? Holding back when others are talking is the mark of real conversationists. Only a good listener can be a good conversationist. If you cannot be a good listener, you can never be a good conversationist. And then seventh is we're talking about gossiping. Talking is a way to impress, but don't gossip. It's an ideal form of conversation. The grapevine, often indulged into pastime, it serves on real purpose other than to make. It serves none other purpose than to make us feel better at the expense of others. Everybody likes gossiping, but of course, we always talking about somebody else. Learn the trick of disengagement. Don't reply. Don't be drawn in. Never do it yourself. Don't gossip. Ending the session with little minds think and talk of other people. Average minds think and talk of situations. Great minds think and talk of ideas. So, are you going to be little minds thinking of other people? Average mind talking of situations? Or you want to be in the category of great minds thinking and talking of ideas? Think about it. So that was the The session today was on the elements of communication. Can anybody give me just one point? Any point of the 7 points which you think could really be taken into our systems? Anyone? Komal, what was the first point in the 7 elements of communication?
Kindness, ma'am.
Kindness.
Kindness.
Yes. What is kindness according to you? What is kindness in communication? How do you see kindness? Hello?
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Komal, you want to speak about the 7 golden rules of communication? You can go ahead with that. Hello?
Ma'am, the 7 golden rules. Yes, ma'am. I'm speaking the 7 golden
All
rules.
right.
The first one,
Okay. Komal, start.
the articulation of thought. Think before you speak. In the first golden rule, a smart person know the situation where to speak the right, where to speak the words that's nobody hurts. In the golden, the in first points we see the examples of Greece Normans. It's like someone is coming late and he responds, "You are late," and the environment are uplifted. And in that situations, that persons are feeling embarrassing in the environment. So if any situations come, the people think before speak the words that are nobody hurts, and he handle the situations in any company, in every people's life. If any situations can, and they didn't think and speak in wrong ways, that time the people's hurts. So in childhood, our mothers and fathers always doubt, think before you speak in the in any situations. So that's why, ma'am.
Okay. So Komal was talking about articulating your thoughts. So why is this important? First, we have to think before we speak. Yes, anybody else would like to say something from today's session? Yes. What is your takeaway from today's session? What have you understood? Aditya, roll number 13. Hello? Aditya, you're there? Why all the cameras are off today? Hello? Nikhil? Harshit? Yes, Harshit.
Yes, ma'am.
What is your takeaway from today's session? I'll give you 1 minute time.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, what is the takeaway from today's class?
Yes, ma'am, as being able to communicate effectively is one of the most important life skills. So we need this to enhance our communication skills. Those with good interpersonal skills are strong enough, and uh, also with verbal communication, or we can say that they are often considered to be good with people to learn and to just get the knowledge from others.
Okay. Be prepared for your speeches. Since today was a speech class, but then I thought of taking the session to persuasive communication and what are the elements required for persuasive communication. Yes, Toshi, would you like to end the session with? Can you conclude the session today?
Ma'am, there was a phrase which I heard that if you think positive, then sound will become music. Ma'am, means that if there is something, then always try to take it positively. Then whatever you are seeing, it will change. If anything is not good, then also you'll try to see it in a good way.
Yeah, finding the best in the worst situation, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
All about being
Yes,
positive,
ma'am.
right? All right, then that's it for
Yes.
today. And be prepared for your sessions, for your presentations.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you all.